And my personal favorite on the right, we have Vandal, which you can see just has a really cool trailing edge and some awesome fins. And even though it looks this cool, it actually is an exceptional flyer too. This thing can fly over 130 feet. Now it looks awesome as it is. Once you do that, you can just go ahead and open your paper up. And you're going to fold this top edge here to the bottom, but don't crease all the way across. You're just making a little pinch crease right here in the middle, like that, which will now serve as our reference point as we fold our top edge to that. But again, we're just making a little pinch crease. And now finally, we'll take the top edge to that pinch crease, and this time you will crease all the way across. Okay, and now we're going to fold this top edge in toward the center, making a triangle, but leave just a little gap between this edge here and your center crease. Just a couple millimeters, it doesn't have to be big. And now we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Just kind of eyeball it, make the gap on this side the same as the gap on your other side. And your plane should look like this. I'm now going to go ahead and flip the paper over, and I want to fold this edge over here all the way into the center. So it'll look like this. This time I'm not leaving any gap at all there. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And then I'll go ahead and unfold this and flip the paper over. And I'm going to rotate it into this position here and pull this crease, kind of gathering it like this, in to land along this edge. So watch, I really want to hold this layer here in place as I do this. And I'm just kind of gathering that and pulling it in, and I land this edge right along that edge there. Just like that. And then I'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Just gathering this, holding this layer in place so it doesn't slide, landing that edge right along the edge of the layer underneath it. And then just flattening it like so. And then I'll go ahead and flip this over and really sharpen up my creases. Okay, and now I'm going to make a crease that starts right here at this point and is going to fan this out. So you can see I'm kind of pulling this and swinging it open, and it's going to end up catching right at this point here. And I'm going to make my crease just like that between those 2 points. I'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side here, just kind of swinging that open. Just like that. Okay, now I'll go ahead and fold that right along this existing crease I've already got here. And then I'm going to fold back so that the crease I make here runs right along that edge. So you can see when I fold this back, I'm just kind of looking for that edge there and landing this new crease right along that one. So it'll look just like that. And I'll do the same thing here. I'm folding on that existing crease and folding back out, looking for that edge behind it. Just like so, and you can see we've created what will become our fins on this side of the paper, but we'll worry about those in a second. Now I'm going to go ahead and reach in and pull out this little layer that's inside that fin, just like that, and do the same thing on this side, just opening that up, kind of pulling that out, just like that. And now we have what might be the toughest step in this plane here. We're going to do a swivel fold. So the first step here is I want to grab this layer and make a crease that runs right along this edge. So I'm just going to kind of pull it along that edge there. And you can see that crease I've just made. And then I'm going to crease from this point here right to where this edge here is intersecting at the nose of our plane. So I just kind of crease from right there to right up here. Just like that. And now I'm going to take all that slack out of the paper just like that to make a new crease. Okay, and then I'll fold my paper in half, and I want to do all those same things on the other side. So I'm going to pull right along this to make that crease there, and then fold right to the front from this point here. And once I make that crease, I can then take all that slack and make a crease here as well. Okay, so I'm going to unfold this side for now and work on this side over here. You can see if we open up all the layers here, I can fold this little extra tab right along that edge, which I will do, just pulling it really tightly to that edge. Just like that. And I'll set it in this position for now and do the same thing on the other side. So just kind of putting it back in that position, opening all the layers on this side here and folding that to land right along this edge. And so now when we set the plane down, it should look just like this. Now I'm actually going to unfold this section here and wrap it only behind one layer. You can see I've got two layers there. And then I'm going to grab both these layers here and fold, basically, let me make this mark, from this point here to this point right here. So we're going to fold a little line that goes between those 2 points there. Again, I'm grabbing both layers, just like that. And then I'll wrap that around inside the plane, just like that. And what that does is it traps this little layer here in that pocket and holds everything together nicely. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm taking this little tab, tucking it behind the first layer, but in between that layer and the next layer. And then I'm folding from this point here to this point down here. And then reversing that and tucking that all in behind. So it should look just like this. Now I'll go ahead and flip it over and fold these fins right along this edge. If you want maximum distance, I would leave the trailing edge of your plane just like this and fold the wings, which I'll get to in just a second. If you want to make it look really cool, there's just one more step. We're going to fold from this point here to this point. This will also fly well, but I think just looks even cooler, but won't fly quite as far as the other version. So we're just folding from there to there, and then you reverse this crease and tuck it behind everything. So we're just folding that on the same line in the opposite direction. And then you can flatten that all out. And with whichever way you did it, we're going to fold the wings the same way. So now we're just folding the plane in half. And we're starting just maybe a centimeter or half an inch above this bottom edge here. So like right there. And pulling the wing down and folding parallel to this bottom edge. Just like that. And then once you do one side, you just flip it over and fold your other side the same way. And there you go. You have a finished paper airplane. So now all we have to do is stand these fins vertically, just like that. I like to throw this plane with a really flat wing angle so that the wings, when you let go of it, are really flat across the back. And you might find that you need to add just a little bit of up elevator, bending the back edges up slightly. But I would go ahead and give the plane a test before you do that. You might even find, if you're throwing it really hard, that you need to give it down elevator to keep it from stalling and bend the back edges down just a little bit. So again, just test your plane, see how it's behaving. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck flying your plane.